Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we are going to be talking about the different properties of equality and using them. So, all of these properties of equality have to do with actually rules that we already know, but we may not have known the name of. So, what the addition property of equality says is that if A is equal to B, then A plus C is equal to B plus C. So, essentially, what they're saying here is that we can add any constant C to both sides of an equation, and that equation, if it was equal before, will remain equal. And that's something you probably knew, right? We probably learned that last year in Algebra 1, or possibly even before that, that as long as we add the same thing to both sides, that's something we're allowed to do. The subtraction property of equality is very similar. If A is equal to B, then A minus C is equal to B minus C. So same idea there, right? If we subtract the same thing from both sides, if we subtract C from both sides, that's something we can do. Then we have the multiplication property of equality, which states that if A is equal to B, then A times C is equal to B times C. So same idea there as well, that as long as we multiply the same number to both sides, that's something we're allowed to do. And then we have division property of equality, which is if A equals B, then A over C is equal to B over C, so long as C does not equal to 0. Because if C is equal to 0, we would be dividing by 0, and we can't do that, but we can divide by any other real number that we want to, and that's something we can do. Then we have the substitution property of equality that says if A is equal to B, then A can be substituted for B or B and A in any equation or expression, which makes sense. If they are equal, if they're the same value, then they are interchangeable. We can swap A for B or B for A anytime we would like to. So these are probably all rules that you've already known and used. You may just not have known the names of them. So now you know the names of them. We're going to solve this equation here, this linear equation. It says to solve and to justify each step. And probably a lot of you already know exactly how to solve this, but maybe the justifying each step part is the new part here. So let's begin. Let's start with what is given. We're given 18x plus 5 is equal to 3x minus 8. So my justification for this step is this is just what's given in the question. So I'm going to write given. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides using the subtraction postulate or subtraction property of equality. And that's something else I should mention. Sometimes these are called postulates of equality, sometimes properties of equality. There's no real difference, really. Just depends on your textbook. But they do refer to the same thing. Okay, so we're going to subtract 5 from both sides and get 18x is equal to 3x minus 8 minus 5. Okay, now we're going to use the same property again, the subtraction property. And we're going to subtract 3x from both sides this time to get 18x minus 3x equals negative 8 minus 5. Then we're just going to collect our like terms. We're going to get 15x equals to negative 13. And then our last step here is we're going to use division property of equality and divide both sides by 15. So division property. To get the answer, which is that x is equal to negative 13 over 15. And there we have it.